Lads, what's going on? Success is something we see in the future. Success is something we all want to achieve. Success is something we all have different definitions. My definition of success is going to be different to your definition of success. But regardless, there is foundations required for everybody, no matter what your definition. In this video, I'm going to talk to you how you can actually prepare yourself for success and how to build those solid foundations. For those of you who don't know, my name is Will Courtney. I'm a 22-year-old entrepreneur. I'm currently in the beautiful Koh Samui, as you can see in my background here. Last March, I made 1,000 USD. This March, I made 56,000 USD. My business is Willionaire, and that's a private network of entrepreneurs making over 10K per month. We hold each other accountable, we help each other scale our businesses, and we do cool shit. For example, living in this villa in Koh Samui, there's 5 guys here. We do retreats, masterminds, and trips all around the world. We've hosted them in Marbella, Bulgaria, Sofia, Bali, Koh Samui, Bangkok, literally all around the world, and this is just the start. So when we prepare ourselves for success, what does that actually look like? I've just finished reading a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. I'm sure some of you are aware of that. If you're on your self-development journey like I am, then you'll be reading loads and loads of books. One quote in particular really stuck out in this book. It was, "Opportunity is a haughty goddess that favors no man who's unprepared." Similarly, my kickboxing coach used to say to me, success happens when opportunity meets preparation. So in order for opportunity to come, we must be prepared. Here's a picture of me on the screen right there in my Willionaire shorts, which I've given to all the members in the community on one of the balconies in this beautiful villa in Koh Samui. By some people's definitions, I am successful. And I understand that. I understand their reasoning why they would think that. But to me, this is just the beginning. Okay, slide 1, it's self-image. Who do you see yourself as? When you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see a man who's capable, a man who's courageous, a man who's disciplined, a man who's driven, a man with purpose? Or do you see a fraction of that? Do you see yourself as a man with no direction? Do you see yourself with a man without purpose, who's not really passionate about anything? First and foremost, you really need to master the man in the mirror. Everyone says you are your biggest competition, but that is true. I used to see myself as shy. I used to see myself as skinny. I used to see myself as someone who gave things a go, but wasn't actually a winner. Now let that sink in. Do you see yourself as a winner, or do you see yourself as someone just giving it a go? Second place is literally the top of a long list of losers. So fast forward, in 2025, I look in the mirror and I see myself as a fit, strong, athletic, capable man. And yes, that sounds narcissistic to some degree, but do you think a skinny, a weak, a shy man is going to accomplish the goals that I've set for myself? Of course not. And then I also see myself as a businessman. I see myself as a founder of the best community in the world for high-level entrepreneurs. I see myself as a man who's articulate, who can hold deep conversations on podcasts in person. I see myself as a man on a mission who's going to accomplish great things. And yes, this does sound super egotistical. I get it. I thought that as well. But the way you see yourself is a complete reflection on how other people see yourself. A little bit of a side tangent here. On the weekend, I hosted a white party in this villa for entrepreneurs and models in Koh Samui. So obviously I got all the Willionaire boys to come, but I got loads of other entrepreneurs who are making lots of money to attend the event as well. And why would they attend the event? It's because I invited them, yeah, but why would they come to some random guy's white party? It's because they see me how I see myself. They respect me for being Jack. They respect me for building a business, for having this community. And because I see that in myself, they see that in me too. Similarly, how do you get models to a party? It's by being confident. I know that I'm charismatic, I'm funny, I'm good looking, I'm handsome. So when I approach girls in the gym, it's not from a place of scarcity, it's not from a place come across like a creep. I just be my raw, authentic self, and they see me, I hope, in the way that I see myself. And yeah, we had a bunch of models turn up. So the main takeaway from self-image is find out that person you want to be. Look at yourself in the mirror and make sure you see that person. Okay, next, manifestation. I'm going to take you over the picture on the right first. So in my bedroom at my dad's house in the UK, I had loads of books, I had a foam roller, I had red lights, I had all these little small intricate things that was supposed to help me on my self-development journey. One of the biggest things is I had multiple whiteboards up on my wall. This one in particular was called The Plan. So this was some point in 2023. I was working a job which I was supposed to be a development director in come a few years, but I looked at the development director and I didn't want to be him. I looked at the senior members of staff and I didn't want to be them. I wanted more of life. So I knew I had to find out what the role progression and plan was going to look like for me. Could I get a sabbatical? Could I go and leave and travel the world? So that was step one. I was doing various things on the side. I was delivery driving pizzas. I was cleaning shoes for a living. And I knew I just had to hustle and save as much as I can. And then I wanted to invest that into property. My logic was if my pay didn't increase significantly to 40k a year, which wasn't much, I was on about 18 at the time, then around January, I would travel. The plan was to go to Thailand. You can literally see here, January 2024, I said I'd be in Thailand. And then 2026, I'd be in Dubai with 1 million in the bank. And lads, that's going to happen. I moved to Thailand. I moved to Koh Samui specifically the 1st of January 2024. And you can see down here, get a sales job to get commission and XP because I thought I was going to online sales when I moved to Thailand. Go to Thailand, 5k a month by June. June, I hit my first 5k a month. So by writing out your goals, shit actually happens. Like manifestation works. Tell yourself what you want to do. Tell other people that. Write it down. Let the universe know what you are going to do. And this ties back in nicely to self-image. Do you see yourself as a man who's going to do those things? Did I see myself as a man who was going to get that 40k pay rise? Did I see myself as a man who was bold enough to move to Thailand on his own? Was I that man who was going to make $1 million and live in Dubai in 2026? I saw myself as that person before I already was. Muhammad Ali said it greatly. He said, I said I was the best before I even knew I was. Okay, now moving over to the picture on the left here. This is the villa that we're staying in at the moment. I probably could have got a better picture where you could see the view. Let me just move this and see if you can see it. Yeah, you can see the view here. So this is an infinity pool looking over the island of Koh Samui. You get the sea, and this is Koh Phangan. And this is one of the most amazing views I've ever seen in my life. And in 24, when I was making no money, I made my first 1k in March. I was living in a very, very small studio apartment. The toilet, the bed, the balcony, the sinks, the shower, everything was in the same room. It was no bigger. In fact, looking at the bedroom I'm in right now, it was literally the same size as this bedroom. Now, although I had nothing, I had no money coming in, I missed my girlfriend, I missed my family, the one thing I had every single day was this view. The same view you can see behind me right now. I would look at that and just be in awe. And the owner of my apartment, she would show me like the villas she also rents out. And I was asking her how much they are. And she said like, I don't know, it might be like 4,000, 5,000 pounds a month or something. And I was just thinking to myself, that's just astronomical. That is so far away. How on earth am I ever going to do that? But I manifested that when I returned to Koh Samui, because I knew I had to leave, when I returned to Koh Samui, I would live in one of those villas. I would look out on that same view in one of those magnificent villas that she owned. Now look, it actually does take my breath away sometimes. When I booked this villa, I was actually quite emotional. I was thinking to myself, I dreamed of this. I told myself I would do this. I put it out to the universe. And everything in my power conspired to make it happen. Now, if this doesn't give you a wake-up call, if this doesn't allow you to understand how powerful this is, then I don't know what is. Like, last March, I made 1,000 USD. Last March, I was in a studio apartment. I had nothing but balls and a dream. I don't want to ramble on too long about this, so let's skip on to the next slide. So next up is a vision board. And I'll break this down into two sections. One is a physical vision board, and the second one is a personal manifesto. So about February last year, I wrote down everything that 25-year-old Will would be doing and would look like. And I called 25-year-old Will Willionaire. Now, I went down into the very, very fine details. What that guy looked like physically. How much weight was he moving in the gym? How much was he able to, how long could he run? How fast could he run? What was his relationships like with his family? What did his business look like? What sort of community did I have? What was my financial status? And to give you a little bit of a rundown, I said by 25 years old, I want to make 50k per month. I want to live wherever I want. I want client acquisition to be something that just happens. I want to be not afraid of hard work. I want to be a feared kickboxer. I want to be strong in the gym. I want to be able to lift 100 kilograms and run ultramarathons. Pretty much all of this has happened, and I'm 22. Every time I was doing an action, I would ask myself, would 25-year-old Willionaire do this? If the answer is yes, then I did it. If the answer is no, then I just wouldn't do it at all. And having something like this keeps you so dialed in and purpose-driven towards the actual cause. Because if you want to be, in my instance, 25-year-old Willionaire, I've got to stop behaving like him now. So ask yourself, what does you in 2 to 5 years look like? What does he do on a daily basis? What's his relationships like with his family? What does you in 5 years' time eat for breakfast? How does he conduct himself in a social environment? And then the second thing is having an actual vision board. So you can see on my screen there, that is my computer lock screen, and I've got the same one for my phone. I've just changed it to fit my phone. And on here, this is like some crazy penthouse in Bangkok, something I would love to live in. This is Patek. This is some stoicism. This is Muhammad Ali. I love fighting. This is some beautiful houses with beautiful cars, helping my beautiful wife into the car, being a gentleman. This is the Willionaire Boys. Well, they're not the Willionaire Boys. It could be the Willionaire Boys sharing lovely food, great conversations in one of these houses. And this over here is the mansion, the manor, the castle I want to own in the UK with my family. And I've already looked into all this stuff. I know how much these cars cost. I know how much that watch costs. I know how much this house is going to cost. And I know what I need to do in order to get them. And here's my family. We've got the younger and older generations here. And one of my biggest dreams, so a bit of backstory. My mum and dad are divorced. The families get along, but they're not that close. But as a family man, I want to unite all of us. So if I had this house, if I had this respect in the family, I can make that happen. I see this every day. I see this on my phone. I see this on my laptop. And seeing this, it inspires me to make me work. It pisses me off a bit because I don't have it yet. And it reminds me about 25-year-old Will, 25-year-old Willionaire, because these are the things that he's going to have. Last but not least is environment. Your environment is so important. I don't even know where to put this little circle. Not just the place you live in, but the people who you live with, the people who you surround yourself with. The guys you talk to on a day-to-day basis, the guys that hold you accountable, the guys that you work out with, the guys that you talk to when you've got something wrong. This is why environment is so crucial. You are a product of it. If you tell me the 5 people you're surrounding yourself with, I can tell you about you. You know, I've got guys here I've met all over the world. These are all members of Willionaire. For example, we've got a guy here, he scales info products. This is a day trader. This guy does AI automations. He does sales. This guy's got an agency. This guy does content. This guy does sales. This guy does Amazon FBA, sales team developer, agency owner. We've got guys in every sort of niche. Guys who are all jacked. Like, look at the stamp of all these guys. All these guys are ripped. All these guys are dialed in. All these guys are making money, improving their mindset. We share the same vision when it comes to purpose and family and our visions. And by being surrounded by these, it doesn't just motivate me, but it keeps me in line. It reminds me what's possible. I truly believe that this one is the most important thing. If you get yourself in a good environment, surrounded by the right people, they're going to tell you that you need this personal manifesto. They're going to tell you that you need a vision board. They're going to tell you that you need to manifest things into reality. They will tell you all of this. I would have liked to talk about how I set myself up for success by building solid foundations in 2023 through discipline, because I like talking about discipline. But when I step back and I actually have a look at it, yes, discipline's important, but I don't think you'd be watching my videos if you weren't disciplined. I think you're watching my videos because you're an entrepreneur. Maybe you're scaling to 10K per month. Maybe you've already hit 10K and you're looking to hit 100K. But whoever you are, keep absolutely smashing it. If you like my content, then please do like, subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. And entrepreneurs, if you make over 10K per month and want to surround yourself in an environment like this and live in these beautiful villas and scale your business, then I've got a link to book a call in the description of this YouTube video. So feel free to book one in. We can have a chat. I'm not going to hard close you. Just see if, one, you'd be a good fit for the community, and two, it's something that you even need. Guys, if you're scaling to 10K per month, I've got a second community called Willionaire Ascend, and that's for absolute killers who are looking to scale up and smash the space. Likewise, book in a call. Feel free to chat. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.